So good morning. Let us start with the definition again. Statistics is a science which deals with collection, classification, interpretation, analysis of the numerical data. I can give an example for. Let us explain with by example. Say nowadays very horrible disease called corona is the collection of that here. Statistics is a science. Science is a knowledge. Knowledge gained by experience is called science. So here, knowledge gained by the experience. Experience means they will collect the data of corona positive patients that they gain the numerical numbers, district wise and total. Say in Karnataka, 8,000 odd, and they bifurcate this as district wise 300, 400, 350, 450 like district wise. They collect the numbers. Some that 350, 450, 325, 190. These are the numbers. These are the numbers collected data. Then is a science is collection of data and interpretation of data. What they interpret that? So they take the maximum number of patients district wise. Maximum say 3000, say a minimum say 2000, 200 say. So then the range becomes maximum minus minimum. 3000 minus 200 say 1800 is the range. The maximum, then analysis interpret. What they interpret, they interpret that the district wise they interpret, and they claim that such a in a certain city or certain district very high number of corona patients are there, positive patients. And then they analyze and they that make a policy that is in suppose in Davangere district, say Davangere districts, we found say a large number of or maximum number of corona patients. Then the policy uh, can be made by the government that the more attention or more some restrictions should be, or lockdown like that. Some restrictions should be uh, made in the district Davangere. That is making the policy. This is the so science. Thus, science is a statistics is a science which deals with collection, classification, interpretation of the numerical data. This is the definition of that. Then the scope of the statistics. Scope is initially the scope was very little. It was used by only the government. Uh, Government to make policies for the administration purposes. Hence, the scope was limited. Now, as the time is advanced, since the science has become more and more popular, its field of application widened, widened, and it was now using in, uh, almost all branches of sciences like biology, medicine, agriculture, economics, commerce, business, etc. So in biology, they are statistics was using in measuring the growth of plant or movement of population, etc. In medicine say any new medicine, new medicine is invented, say, then how to apply that? So to before apply the medicine, they will test what is the impact of the test of the medicine on the patients. So to test, they use statistics comparison test whether number of patients improved or not, or the significant differences are there not. Such a to know the significant difference in the uh, application of or this the medicine, impact of medicine is known by the statistics. Then medicine and agriculture. Agriculture is fertilizer. You might have heard several types of fertilizers: nitrogen, potash, NPK, several urea, several fertilizers are there. To know the impact of fertilizers on food production or yield, they use the statistics. Next, economics. Economics, the variation in the price and demand and production, which are helpful. Also, it is also useful in the business and economics. Cost of living index numbers help in the economic planning and fixation of wages. They are used to estimate the value of the money. And then industry it is used for to test the statistical quality control techniques, so which help in increasing or and controlling the quality of the products at the minimum cost. Because nowadays there very much competition. Suppose a manufacturer say mixer, so several types of mixers are companies mixers are there. So to if you plan, so if you make the quality control with a minimum cost, with a minimum rate, maximum benefit should be, if it is available in the mixer, then they will sales will be more. That type of uh, test or the utilization, the statistics is used. Then data. Data is, we know that statistics are the set of numerical data. Now, data is the facts and figures of any object or subject under statistical investigation. And collection of data, numerical measures of same characteristics, numerical measures of same characteristics is known as observation, and collection of observation is termed as data. Suppose numerical character, so numerical number, suppose for example, the weight of a student. Here weight, taking the weight is the variable, and the measurement, so weight 55 kg, 45 kg, 48 kg, 50 kg, that's these numbers are the data, and the collection of these all the set of data. Next is investigator. Investigator means the person who conducts the statistical survey, or he count the, that is counts or measures the characteristics under study for further statistical analysis is the known as the investigator. Respondent means in a statistical survey the persons who gave the information, or from whom the information is collected in the statistical survey is the respondent. I can give an example for that. If you if you want to make a survey in a village, you go to the village, you select the village first, then go to the village, you will the visit one house, and the owner of the house comes, and the owner, he gives the some information. You are the investigator, some on a statistical survey, you are the investigator, and the one who gives the information in in the rule say the owner of the house is the respondent. Next is some basic concepts. Next, basic concepts. So units means in a statistical survey the objects whose characteristics are studied under consideration is called, studied under the statistical survey is called the units or individuals, or whose characteristics, and the population, or that is called units also, it is called as also called as individuals. Now population or universe, population or universe, the totality of the units under consideration is called population or universe. I can give an example. In a say the financial condition of a say certain tribe, of certain tribes in say in Karnataka, then the all the households of tribe belonging to the tribe family is the units, and all the tribe families household, all the households of the tribe community in Karnataka, because in Karnataka, that is the population or universe. If you take the India is the population, then all the households in India. So in the present case, we have chosen the Karnataka state. So all the households in Karnataka of belonging to the tribe family in Karnataka, this that is called population, and each household is called the unit. Next is finite population. A population may be finite or infinite. So a population which contains finite number of units, which contains a population, population say number of households. Here it can be measurable, countable. So it is not a finite. It is it is finite. Sorry, it is finite, countable. A population which contains finite number of units is a finite population. Infinite population is a population which contains infinite number of households or infinite number of units. Under study is the infinite population. Example, I can give for finite population. I can give an example for the finite population. Population of students belonging to a college in a is finite. So number of students in a particular class is also a finite. Number of students in a college or particular class or in the, say Karnataka, also in a district, whatever, these are the countable. So it is a finite population. Then number of households in a village. You go to the village, number of households may be limited. It is countable. So the number of households is finite population. Similarly, the number of male births in a city is a finite population. Number of accidents per day in a city, a particular city, say Bangalore or say in a particular Bombay, something, any city, number of accidents in a particular place is finite. Finite population. Next, infinite population. Infinite population is stars in the ocean, stars in the sky, or all the plants, plant population in India. It is uncountable. It is very difficult to count. So it is infinite population. The example for infinite population. Next, fish individuals in the ocean. It is uncountable. It is very difficult to count. You can't count at all. So it is infinite population. Next is population of stars in space. Next, the number of red blood cells in the human blood. Human blood, the red blood cells are in terms of lakhs. Terms of lakhs. So it is uncountable. So this is a characteristics. One is qualitative characteristics and quantitative characteristics. A characteristics which numerically measured, a characteristics which numerically measured or measurable is a quantitative characteristics. Quantify one which you can count or quantify, that is quantitative characteristics. Example, height of a person, weight of an apple, number of students in a college, tree population density per unit area. These are all the examples for quantitative characteristics. Similarly, qualitative characteristics. Qualitative characteristics, the characteristics of the items or units cannot be measurable numerically directly. So such thus such characteristics are a qualitative characteristics. The qualitative characteristics are examples: intelligence of a student, beauty of a flower, skin color of a person, then sweetness of a fruit, anger, anxiety. These are all the humanity. These are all the qualitative characteristics. This cannot be measured numerically directly. Next is finite population, then qualitative characteristics, then variable and attribute. A quantitative characteristics which varies from unit to unit is a variable. A quantitative characteristics means which can be quantified. Quantified means it can be countable or measurable, like temperature or this weight of a fruit or weight of a person or any number of scores gained in the subject mathematics or statistics. These are the countable. These are the quantitative characteristics. This varies from unit to unit. So it varies from unit to means, suppose you can take an example of the scores gained in the subject mathematics. Suppose in a class of a particular class, say become third sem, there are say 300 students are there. Out of 300 students, scores may not be the same. May not be the same. It some students may have common or the same score, but definitely all the students can't score the same score. So the it varies from student to student. Each student is the unit. Each student is the unit. The score of each student is different. That is the idea of, that is the meaning of which varies from unit to unit. It's a next attribute. Attribute is concerned with a qualitative characteristics. So a qualitative characteristics which varies from unit to unit, which varies from unit to unit, is an attribute. Suppose skin color or sweetness, intelligence, anger, anxiety. Anger, anxiety, some are very much anger persons you may find. Anxiety also in BP, you got all these the characteristics which cannot be measured, measure numerically directly. Some method is there. Next is variable may be discrete or continuous variable. So variable which assumes only some specified values. Variable. So next is I will this discrete variable and continuous variable. One is discrete variable, discrete variable and continuous variable. As the name itself says, discrete variable means a variable which takes some specified values, takes some specified values in a given range is a discrete variable. Say number of persons in a family, number of children in a family, or number of books in a shelf, or number, say number of seeds in a pod. These are all the example for discrete variable. Next is continuous variable. Continuous variable, the variable which assumes all the values in the specified range is called continuous variable. Example, weight of persons, weight of an apple, or measures of temperature in a thermometer, volume of units in a jar. Then a very good example, I can, the general example for the discrete and continuous variable, uh, the movement of snake is like this. Movement of snake is like this. This is continuous variable. So it in a specified say about 100 meters distance to travel, it covers is a specified range. 100 meter is a specified range. In specified range, it assumes all the values. All you see, there is no gap at all. This is a best example, local example. So movement of a snake is the continuous variable. For the discrete variable also local example I can give that. If you by walk, how you walk that? So the same 100 meter is a specified range. Your step will be like this. Step like this type. So it doesn't assume these values here. This is a gap is there. Gap is there. It won't assume these values. So the characteristics which assumes all the values in the specified range is continuous variable, and the variables which does not assume or which assumes only a specified values in a given range is discrete variables. Next is now the data which cannot be numerically expressed. As I said, the qualitative data means which cannot be measured numerically directly. So for that, for example, many students are failed in the examination, or several families are under BPL, means below poverty line, or many people in a village are suffering from high blood pressure. So in all these examples, so many students are failed, or several families are under below poverty line, and many people in a village suffering from BP, high blood pressure. These are the many several. These are all the figures. It is not actually quantified. So unless it is quantified, statistical analysis cannot be done. So this example, if you convert it, instead of saying instead of saying many students are failed, instead of saying that 60% students or 40% students are failed in an examination, then it can be 60% or 40% is the quantification. That is a quantification. Then the statistical test or statistical analysis can be made. Similarly, the several families say out of 25 families, or in nowadays more than 80% are suffering from the blood pressure, high blood pressure, some low blood pressure, like that. And the BPL family, below poverty line, there are also family, the households, number of households in a village, say 20%. That 20%, that so 80% or 60% passing, 60% failed, failed in an examination, or say 80%. So people, or 80% people in a village of suffering from BP, blood pressure, and say 25% of the households below poverty line. This 60%, 80%, 25%, these are all the quantified. The qualitative data is now quantified. Now the statistics can be applied. So for that, the next question is how to convert the qualitative data into quantitative data. There are four methods are there. Out of four, can let us consider only two. That much is enough. The first is nominal scale. One is nominal scale. Nominal scale. Second is ordinal scale. Ordinal scale. Then third is interval and ratio. Interval and ratio. Ratio is called. This is not much interested. We forget this. Now take, let us these two. So nominal scale is one which the units are assigned simply as symbols of different categories of observation. For example, number assigns like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. players of football or cricket. First player, second player, third player, 11th player in the cricket, like that. So also the roll numbers is given in the college or high school, in school level, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. They they are simply given for identification of student. The numbers are given. This is the nominal scale. One more example I can give, that the male child indicated as by 1, and female as 0, or the male child as 1, female as 2, like that. Also in a layout, plots are numbered as plot 1, plot 433. In a layout, say this is a layout. So for the business one, say this is a layout. This layout will be like this. Number of household, like this is the road. This is the road. Say road. This is the road. This is the layout. This is, say they give the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305 like this. This is the layout numbers or survey numbers. Survey numbers also will be given. Survey number will be there. In the village map, you might have seen some number, survey numbers will be there like this. Like this. Survey number says some grama, village, some village, say village, any village, a village X, village X say. Now survey number will be there. This survey number is given by the local administrative office, that is Tahsildar office. Say survey number here 1, 2, this is say 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8 of survey number. These are all the nominal scales. Next is ordinal scale. Ordinal scales is actually it is the scale is given in such a way that the numbers are assigned to the observations. Observation means each unit such a way that they can be arranged in increasing order or in decreasing order. Here the numbers assigned indicate the intensity of the phenomenon or the according to the magnitude of the phenomenon. Example, say in a survey of people, the people are assigned to numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 according to their education level. Say no education is 0, 1. No education. No education is say 0. And SLC or high school education level say 1. SSLC, SSLC 1. Then more than then PUC or diploma. PUC is say PUC is 2 and diploma is say 3 and degree is 4 like that. Degree is 4 like that. So similarly the grade of cashew nuts, say cashew nuts are good as grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 like that. Areca nut also they will grade. So first grade, second grade, third grade like that. These are all the according to the grade or the magnitude they will be ranked. Next, similarly the families in a village are assigned numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 according to their below poverty line. So on the average line, poor, very poor, rich, and very rich. Like that, according to the scale, according to the magnitude, according to the rank, they give the numbers. Giving such number, the numbers assigning to the units. So this type is called the ordinal ordinal scale. Similarly, 10 students are ranked 1, 2, 3, 4 after ranks. First rank say 100 out of 100 is the first rank. Second rank is 99. Third rank is 98, etc. up to 10th rank. So 91 is the 10th rank. This is the way of assigning the ranks in the ordinal scale. Next is primary data and secondary data. Next is primary data and secondary data. What is primary data? As the name itself says, primary means first. Primary data, first time collection. The collection so made by the primary data are the fresh data collected by from the fields directly. Primary data. Primary data and secondary data. Secondary data. So primary data is the fresh data which is collected directly from the field. The investigator goes to the field and will make a statistical inquiry, a statistical survey and collects the data. They are the primary data. Similarly, the in a census survey, the number of male, female, number of births and deaths, all are recorded by the local administrative office and they record in the register. That is the primary data. So primary data, they are very costly because each one has to go to the field, has to spend, he has to expend money, and he has to spend for labors and or others for transport, and so and so on. This is the, so the primary data are costly. The collection is consumes more time, and also it takes more labor. So this is costly. In the secondary data, the secondary data means once the data is collected, say birth and death, or male and female in a village, by collected by the local administrative office, say Tahsildar, they will collect, and in the they make a one register for that. Then the that data is used for some other department or from the research institute for their some other purpose in the statistical survey. On the basis of the this primary data, they are going to estimate, or they are going to make a plan, or they are going to do survey on statistical survey for the another say plan. So that is secondary data. So data relating to mortality and fertility in India, say published by the office of the registered in India, is the primary data, and this is again same reproduced by the UNO, United Nations of Organizations. They will collect for for their further studies. That is secondary data. The sources of secondary data, so reports and publications of central and state governments departments, then magazines and newspapers, reports, publications of international bodies such as UNO and others. These are the methods of collecting the primary data and secondary data. Next is methods of collecting the primary data. There are two, three methods, four methods are there. There that methods, how to collect the primary data. Some methods are there. So let us see that in the next period. Thank you, one and all.